If you're over 60 and want to take better care of your health at home, you're in the right place. Welcome to Senior Vitality Podcast, where we share simple senior health tips to help you stay active and independent.
I want to start today by putting a specific number in your head. It's a statistic I found buried in our research for this deep dive, and honestly, it genuinely rattled me. 1%.
Sounds innocent enough. 1% doesn't sound like a crisis.
That's what I thought. I see 1%, and I think margin of error, or maybe the battery draining on my phone. But here's the context from the medical data we're looking at today. Adults over 50 lose approximately 1% of their remaining collagen every single year.
And that's cumulative. That is the scary part.
Right. So just do the math with me. If you're sitting there listening to this and you're, say, 65, you haven't just lost a sliver. You've likely lost about 15% of the total structural integrity you had at 50.
And that's on top of the decline that started way back in your 20s.
It's a sobering stat because collagen it's not just about vanity. I think we tend to file it under beauty wrinkles, saggy skin, but biologically it's the scaffolding. It holds your entire body together.
Yeah, and when that 1% disappears year after year, that scaffolding gets shaky.
We feel it, don't we? You see it in the mirror, sure, but you really feel it when you get out of a low chair and your knees make that ominous crunching sound.
Or your recovery time after a workout just stretches out.
Exactly. And because we're human and we want to fix things, we've seen this absolute explosion of the collagen industry.
Oh, it is everywhere.
Okay.
A multi-billion-dollar machine.
You can't walk into a grocery store anymore or a pharmacy without seeing tubs of it. Powders, pills, gummies, collagen water.
Collagen coffee creamer.
Right.
Yeah.
All promising the same thing. Just drink this scoop and you'll get that 1% back.
It's a very compelling promise. It's the fountain of youth in a plastic tub.
But here's the question that kept nagging me as I read through these sources, and it's really the core mission of today's deep dive. Are these expensive tubs of white powder actually working? Or, as one of our sources put it, are we just paying for a shadow of the real thing?
That is the critical question. Because the biochemistry suggests that simply dumping a scoop of isolated powder into your coffee might not be sending the signal you think it is.
So today, we are going on a bit of a culinary adventure. We're moving away from the supplement aisle, and we're looking at the forgotten foods. And I should warn you, some of this is going to sound a little intense.
We are definitely going to talk about the nasty bits.
We're talking about feet. We were talking about tendons, the stuff modern cooking usually throws in the trash. But we need to find out if eating these things is actually more effective than that $50 powder.
And the key word for this whole discussion is bioavailability. It's not just what you put in your mouth.
It's what your body can use.
Exactly. It's about what your body can actually recognize, unlock, and use. We have to talk about nutritional context.
Okay, let's unpack that, because I think most people, myself included, assume collagen is collagen. If I take a pill or eat a steak, it's all just protein going into the tank. But our sources say that's absolutely not true, especially as we get older.
It's not just fuel, it's information. And this is where we have to look at the work of Dr. Eliza Hart. She's an OBGYN specializing in postmenopause, and she brings up this fascinating idea of a biological mismatch.
Mismatch. That sounds like a communication breakdown. What's happening?
So think about those tubs of collagen powder. They're almost always hydrolyzed, which just means the collagen has been broken down in a factory into tiny little fragments or peptides.
Right, so it doesn't get clumpy in your smoothie. It's a convenience thing.
Correct. Now, in a younger body, say in your 20s or 30s, those fragments are easily recognized. The metabolic machinery is running at full capacity. The body sees those peptides and says, oh, look, building blocks. Let's make some skin.
The instructions are clear. The factory is open.
But Dr. Hart points out that for women over 50, as estrogen declines, the body's ability to interpret those faint signals changes. The machinery isn't as sensitive. The workers are tired.
So the body basically stops reading the text messages.
In a way, yes. When you ingest these isolated fragments without any other context, an older body often doesn't recognize them as structural repair signals. It just sees generic protein.
Calories.
It just sees calories. So instead of sending those amino acids to your face to smooth out a wrinkle, the liver just grabs them and burns them for energy.
That is tragic. You're spending $50 a tub to essentially fuel your walk to the mailbox. You're buying expensive mahogany and throwing it in the fireplace.
That's a perfect analogy. You're burning construction materials, and this is where the whole food advantage comes in. The argument for the matrix versus the fragment.
A matrix? Okay, break that down for me.
It just means it comes packaged the way nature built it. It arrives with fats, with minerals, and crucially with gelatin. This whole complex food takes longer to digest, and that slow breakdown plus the cofactors sends a much stronger structural signal to the body.
It's essentially shouting at the cells.
Right. It's shouting, we are building structure here. Use this to rebuild.
One of the articles used this image that I just loved. They said buying supplements is like paying for a shadow of the real thing. You get the outline, but you don't get the substance.
That captures it perfectly.
Yeah.
You need the whole package to get the full effect. The body evolved to eat food, not, isolated chemical powders.
Okay, so if we want the real thing, the matrix, we have to eat the real thing.
Right. Yeah.
And this is where we get into the hardcore sources. I call them hardcore because, frankly, when I saw beef tendon on the list, I sort of recoiled.
Who is that?
Have you seen raw beef tendon? It looks like a rock. This white, opaque, hard thing. It doesn't look like food.
It's not the most inviting ingredient at first glance, I'll grant you that. Historically, though, this was a prized ingredient. You go back 100 years, or you look at traditional Asian cuisines today, and tendon is a delicacy.
So what is it biologically?
Yeah.
It's not fat, right?
Yeah. No, and that's a common misconception. People see the white bits and assume it's gristle to be trimmed off. Tendon is pure connective tissue. It's about 95% protein, and specifically, it is incredibly rich in type 1 collagen.
And type 1 is the beauty collagen.
Generally speaking, yes. Type 1 is the primary structural component of your skin, your hair, your nails. If you're worried about that creepy skin texture, type 1 is what you're looking for.
But we have to address the ick factor. You can't just chew on a raw tendon. You break your teeth.
Absolutely not. The preparation here is non-negotiable. You have to transform it. And the science of cooking it is basically hydrolysis. We're doing what the supplement companies do in a factory, but slowly, gently in the kitchen.
So walk us through this. The sources were very specific about the method.
First, you have to blanch it. You boil it hard for about 10 or 15 minutes to get the scum and impurities off. That gets rid of that funky smell people worry about.
Okay, that helps. I think the smell scares people off.
Once it's clean, it's all about time and pressure. A pressure cooker for 90 minutes or a slow cooker for 8 to 10 hours. You're cooking it until the structure completely surrenders.
And the payoff.
Yeah.
After 10 hours, what am I left with?
The payoff is texture. When it's hot, it's soft and sticky. But the magic happens when you let it cool down in the fridge. It turns into this firm, sliceable jelly. It looks like a block of savory Jell-O.
Wow.
And that jelly is pure bioavailable collagen. You can slice it cold and put it in a salad or warm it up in a soup.
I'm going to have to trust you on the delicious part, but I get the science. it becomes the matrix. Okay, let's move to source number 2. This one is for the joints.
Chicken feet.
The joint hero.
I feel like half our listeners just hovered over the stop button. Please stick with us. I know it's feet, but why are they so special? Why can't I just eat a chicken breast? Because the breast is muscle. The feet are mechanical wonders. Think about a chicken on its feet all day. They have to support the bird, absorb shock. They're almost entirely skin, cartilage, and tendon. And unlike beef tendon, which is type 1, chicken feet are loaded with type 2 collagen.
Which is the joint stuff.
That's the distinction. Type 2 collagen is specifically for cartilage and joint cushioning. But here's the kicker that really stood out. Chicken feet naturally contain chondroitin and glucosamine.
Wait, those are the supplements people buy for arthritis. My dad takes those pills every morning.
Yes. People spend a fortune on chondroitin pills, but in chicken feet, it's there naturally in the perfect bioavailable form. You're eating the very thing you want your body to repair.
Okay, but again, it's a foot. It looks like a hand. It has claws. How do we get past the intimidation factor? I cannot see myself gnawing on the toes.
I hear you. It's a visual hurdle, but there is a hack for this. You don't actually have to gnaw on the foot if you don't want to.
Thank goodness.
You can use what we call the invisible method. You do a deodorizing boil first, just like the tendon, maybe with some ginger vinegar. Then you just throw them into your stock pot when you're making soup.
So they're just hanging out in the background, like a bay leaf.
Exactly. They dissolve. They release all that collagen into the broth. You'll know you've done it right if the broth gets really glossy. It changes the mouthfeel. And then, and this is the best part for you, you just strain the feet out and throw them away.
So you never have to actually eat the foot.
You never have to eat the foot itself, but you get all the benefit. It's a stealth delivery system.
I can do stealth. I can definitely do stealth. Okay, let's move to the thing that ties this all together. The great unifier. Bone broth. Now, we see bone broth on cartons in the supermarket. Is that what we're talking about?
Usually, no. And
Yeah.
this is a really important distinction the source has made. There's a massive difference between stock and bone broth, even though the labels are used interchangeably.
I always thought it was just marketing.
Yeah.
You know, bone broth was just a hipster way to charge $2 more for stock.
It's not just marketing, it's physics and time. Most commercial stock is cooked quickly, maybe 2 or 3 hours. It's designed for flavor. True bone broth, the kind with medicinal benefits, needs to be simmered for 12 to 48 hours.
48 hours. That's a serious commitment.
It is, but you need that time to fully extract the gelatin from the bone matrix. If you don't cook it long enough, you just haven't mined the gold yet.
And there's a test for this, right? The jiggle test.
Ooh, jiggle test is crucial. This is how you grade your homework. You put your broth in the fridge overnight. In the morning, if it's still liquid like water, you failed. It's just soup. But if it wobbles like Jell-O, if it has a firm bounce to it, congratulations, you have extracted the collagen. That jiggle is the collagen.
That's such a satisfying visual. And there was a chemistry trick mentioned with vinegar. The recipes always say add a splash of apple cider vinegar. I assume that was for taste.
It's not for taste. It's strictly chemistry. The acidity in the vinegar helps demineralize the bone. It softens the matrix and draws out calcium, magnesium, all the good stuff into the water.
So the vinegar acts like a solvent.
That's it. It's maximizing the yield.
Now, if we want to get a little fancy, maybe gourmet, there was another source mentioned, oxtail.
Oxtail is fantastic because it bridges the gap. It has the bone and the connective tissue, but it also has meat. It's the tail of the cattle.
It used to be cheap, right? Now it's kind of expensive.
It's definitely gone up in price, but it is so nutrient dense, incredibly high in gelatin, so you get that sticky, lip-smacking quality, but it's also high in glycine and proline.
But there was a safety warning attached to oxtail we should mention.
Right. We have to be balanced. Oxtail is very rich. It's high in purines, which can be a trigger if you suffer from gout. And surprisingly, it's also high in vitamin K. So if you're on blood thinners, you need to be careful.
Good to know. Okay, let's pivot, because I know people are thinking, I am not boiling bones for 2 days, and I am not touching a chicken foot. Are there everyday superfoods that help?
Definitely. You don't have to be a hardcore ancestral eater. The biggest rule for the everyday person is the skin on rule.
This breaks my heart, because for decades we were told to take the skin off chicken to be healthy.
And we were throwing away the collagen. Poultry skin is a massive source. But even more potent, according to our sources, is fish skin.
Fish skin.
Yes. The sources highlighted a study showing fish collagen from the skin has a lower molecular weight than beef or chicken collagen.
Which means...
For the listener.
It means it's highly absorbable, it gets into your system faster, but you have to eat the skin. So sear your salmon skin until it's crispy. Or eat sardines and anchovies where you eat the whole fish, bones and all.
Crispy salmon skin is delicious, so that's an easy sell. But let's talk about the builders. We mentioned glycine earlier. Why is this specific amino acid getting its own spotlight? Glycine is the unsung hero. It's the primary amino acid in the collagen helix. Here's the problem. Our bodies need about 3 to 5 grams of glycine every day for basic maintenance. But our bodies only produce about 2 to 3 grams.
We're running a deficit.
Constantly. We are in the red, and if you aren't eating skin or connective tissue, you are running a shortage of the very brick you need to build the wall.
And what if I'm vegan? Am I just out of luck?
Not at all. You just have to be more strategic. There are great plant sources. Pumpkin seeds are huge. Chia seeds, soybeans, kidney beans. You just need to make sure you're eating enough of them to close that gap.
Okay, so we have the bricks, the glycine. But you can't build a wall with just bricks. You need mortar.
And the mortar is vitamin C.
This was a big aha moment for me. You can eat all the collagen in the world, but if you don't have vitamin C, it doesn't matter.
Correct. Vitamin C is the essential cofactor. It is the chemical glue that links the amino acids together to form the stable collagen structure. Without it, the structure falls apart. It's actually what scurvy is, your collagen falling apart.
Terrifying. So it's not just about the protein.
No, the takeaway is pairing. If you're having bone broth, have some roasted peppers with it. If you're having chicken, squeeze some lemon juice on it. You need the citrus, the berries, the peppers with the collagen to make it work.
Okay, we bashed the powders a little at the beginning,
Right.
but we promised to be balanced. Is all supplementation a scam?
No, that's too harsh. We looked at a study from the Nutrition Research Journal, a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, gold standard. They looked at a specific supplement called Gold Collagen Active.
And they found results.
They did. Significant results. After 90 days, participants saw a 40% increase in skin elasticity and a 43% reduction in joint pain.
40% is not nothing. That's huge.
It is. But here's the nuance, and this connects back to our matrix theory. This supplement wasn't just isolated peptides, it was a complex. It was blended with vitamin C, with zinc, with other vitamins.
So the supplement worked because it mimicked food.
That's the key. It mimicked the nutritional matrix we talked about. It provided the cofactors.
So the lesson isn't supplements are bad, it's isolated nutrients are weak.
Right. Whether you get it from a high-quality complex supplement or from chicken feet, the key is synergy. The body needs the whole team to win the game.
Okay, let's land this plane. We've thrown a lot at the listener. If someone wants to start this week but they're overwhelmed, what's the actionable plan?
Don't try to do everything at once. Start with the most forgiving entry point, bone broth.
Just a cup.
Just 1 cup, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. You don't even have to make it yourself if you can find a high-quality one that jiggles. But drinking that warm cup is an easy habit.
And if they're feeling brave.
Then I issue the 1 recipe challenge. Try braising some oxtails. Or next time you cook fish, make a conscious effort to crisp the skin and eat it. Just 1 meal this week.
And we need to manage expectations here. I drink broth today. I don't wake up with smooth skin tomorrow.
No. And this is where people give up. We're used to things like caffeine that work in 20 minutes. Collagen works on a time scale of months. Structural repair is slow. It is biological construction. You need to look for changes over 8 to 12 weeks, not overnight.
Patience is key.
Absolutely. You're rebuilding the foundation, not just painting the walls.
Usually we end with a summary, but I want to leave the listeners with a thought. We talk about its aging as things breaking down, but maybe it's more about the conversation stopping.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It's about restoring communication. Your body hasn't forgotten how to rebuild. It just stopped receiving the right signals.
That's right. When you eat these forgotten foods, these tendons, these skins, you aren't just feeding yourself calories. You are reteaching your body how to rebuild. You're reopening that line of communication with your cells. You're saying, we're still open for business.
And I think that is a powerful reason to maybe give the chicken feet a second look.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. We will see you on the next one.
Thanks for spending this time with Senior Vitality Podcast. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.